Up, there it is. Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Tuesday, March 10th, and it's the year 2020. It's 2:28 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. Some of the markets, some of the big indices are definitely up. Crypto is definitely looking better today. Let's check it out. Yesterday it was terrible, and today it's a lot better. So, starting here, note we have a green market, Bitcoin over 8,000, and in general all the big players are up, and this is definitely a good time to be an alt player. Watch for some spurts from some of the alts out there if you are a trader. All right, USA, looking at the big indices, Dow Jones, S&P, and NASDAQ all up. China, Japan, Hong Kong looking good too. So is Chile. And Australia, those kangaroo chasers, it is up also. They're in the green. Nice to see that. The Aussie dollar was sure taking a hit recently. With that said, everybody else, well, not the best day. No, Russia, wow, down 13%. They have not caught the freedom wave yet, I guess. Well, anyhow, Japan, the yen, I should say, which is often seen as a safe haven. Look at that. It ain't a safe haven today. It was yesterday, but today, nope, not anymore. What's going on there? I love this little scanner. Shows whale buys and sells. We definitely are seeing a beautiful mix of buys and sells today out there, and definitely seeing some $1 million plus buys of Bitcoin. So, bulls and bears are a little bit working together rather than trying to crush each other today, at least. Where I usually get tether into Bitcoin, you know what? It ain't working today. Sorry. Oh, it just started working. How beautiful. Let's see. Is it going to work for us? Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. We'll give it one more shot. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. No. Unfortunately. Oh, there it is. It's working. It has not been working. And it just started working. Tether into Bitcoin, 6.4 billion tethered into Bitcoin last 24 hours. That is really, really good. That's only on the big exchanges. Of course, over the counter, there is more. But from what we can measure and measure confidently, that's a lot of tether into Bitcoin last 24 hours. Tether into Ethereum, 3.52. Definitely a formidable amount of tether into Ethereum also. Looking at Bitcoin volume, 1.3 billion in volume last 24 hours, not bad. Whereas most of that on Binance, of course, 711 million of it, and Coinbase, Kraken, and Bitfinex are all over 100 million in volume also. Since the big volume and big players are on Binance, let's look at shorts versus longs. 33% shorts, 66% longs. Sentiment's definitely long there. Let's take a closer look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average on the daily. Well, market is closed now. As you can see, yesterday was a tremendous red candle. Today was a pretty good green candle. What does that mean? Well, it's still indecisive to me, but I can definitely say that today was towards recovery. But on this daily chart, we're still well below the 200 moving average. So we need more recovery for me to start feeling kind of spanky. But with that said, regardless, it is a better day than yesterday. S&P 500 on the daily. Yesterday, a dismal red candle. Today, a very nice looking green candle. Still below the 200 moving average. We still need a lot more recovery before we can say we are good to go. Looking at the Russell 2000. Dismal red candle yesterday. A better looking green candle today. One thing I kind of wanted to do is look at the S&P 500. And do note, let's just put this thing here on the weekly. And let's go way back to like 2016. And you can see, I just kind of want to put this in perspective. You know, right after the elections or so, we started taking off. And there's kind of an upwards channel you can see here. I know I'm kind of ignoring that little dump there. Well, if we look here, in 2016, I mean, things were looking good before then, too. We had a bit of a dip before the election. But then after the election of Mr. Trump, we've been cruising up. We had one little dump back here in December of 2018. But regardless, look at this. Boom. It's been a very, very good time. And as you can see, really, this nice looking trend line, we haven't been below it except for a brief moment there in December of 2018. And now we're briefly below it again. Let us see how this goes. I mean, on the weekly, we're still above the 200 moving average for the S&P 500. And if we can just pull up, if we can get back up above, 2980 or so, then we are looking good. So let's see how this plays out. Are we going to continue to see a recovery as we did today, or what? I don't know, but this is what I see. This is what it is right now. With that said, here's Bitcoin on the weekly. I wanted to kind of put this in a little bit of a perspective, and there's a very cool channel fib that you can do. I actually noticed this from one of the guys over at Blockchain Education. He was using this, and I thought, that's pretty darn cool. Now, with that said, look at this weekly chart. We've been on an uptrend for quite a while, but we really are at an incredible moment right now. We need to get back above this upwards channel. Right now, we're right there teetering on one way or the other. So, let's see which way we go. Just wanted to show you right now we are at a critical moment. Are we going to keep this long time upwards channel since the beginning of the year, really? Or are we going to have issues? We will see. With that said, on the daily, all right, on the daily, the Bitcoin is definitely below. The blue line here is the 200 moving average. So we are definitely below 200 moving average on the daily for Bitcoin. I don't like seeing that. That kind of sucks. But we had 2 drastically dismal days. Red candles are really 3 drastically dismal days. We're below 200 moving average. But look at that today. So far has been a green candle. So, and we'll see how it goes. Really, we are teetering on this moment. Bitcoin needs to get above. I don't care if it just gets a little bit above this weekly trend, channel, and then goes kind of upwards like this. Doesn't matter. This needs to get with the program. And needs to get above the 200 moving average, which is the blue line here. Make sure, yeah, blue line is the 200 moving average. So with that said, needs to get back up around like 8,800 or 8,700, get above that 200 moving average. I think it can. The MACD is below the signal. The red line histogram is widening the wrong way. Let's see, Bitcoin can pump $1,000 in a day, no problem at all. And if it can just get above, like 87.50 or so, and get above that 200 moving average on the daily, that would be rocking. And I think that would go a long ways to getting us back on the positive side at the bottom of this upwards channel we've been following on the weekly. With that said, 4-hour chart, well, we had an upwards trend, channel, then we went into a downwards channel. We're below this white moving average here, it's 200 moving average. I was really hoping we would get a bounce off one of these fib lines up here, but we got down to the 786 and we got a bounce. Now we're between the 618 and the 786. Well, this is definitely good bounce territory. Bounces off the 618 are definitely respectable, very, very formidable. Sometimes often better than a bounce off the .5 fib because you really got some downwards momentum. Found bottom. Things tend to bounce harder off the 618 I have found. But hey, look, I'm not really used to seeing bounces off the 786 fib line, but I will take it because it appears that we did bounce there. These fibs I basically did here on this fib retracement I did on the 4-hour chart starting back January 2nd, where we had an aggressive move above the 200 moving average, went to our all-time high since then, and look at where we are. I think this fib line is pretty good. It tells you something. Everyone draws them differently, but as long as they kind of line up and they're showing you something, I like them. I think this is good. I think we balanced the last place we really could have, and we did do it. So let's try to get above this .618 fib line and make that support. That would be around 82.50. With that said, immediate price action, this 45-minute chart. Well, as you can see, the directional index, it's not green, but it ain't red. It's right there, kind of borderline. Very, very indecisive, neutral directional index, not positive, not negative. The ADX right here is around, 18 or 19. That kind of sucks. Let's just see. We do have, if you note this green arrow, we do have some upwards momentum on this short time frame. We had our big dump. Now we're beginning to recover some. Let's see if that continues. This out of place red line right here, that's the moving average of 8. So the 8 moving average, we tend to, you notice that price action will tend to stick to that. If it gets too far one way or the other, it usually snaps back. We're not too far from that. We are moving up. Let's see if that continues. As you can see, we are well below the 200 moving average, which is white right here, and the blue one is the 314. So far, we've had buy pressure. This is good. Directional index could turn positive. We definitely have an upwards trend going. Let's see how this rolls. Looking at the market today, it's recovering. Bitcoin has kind of been going. I like to think that Bitcoin didn't dump enough during the recent market dump to say that it's truly tied to the traditional markets. I don't think it dumped enough. So for me, We are above 8,000 again, and we have at least an immediate slight trend going towards the positive. With that said, obstacles can't stop you, weather can't stop you, heartbreak can't stop you, failure cannot stop you, only you can stop you. Keep hammering. I don't have my little graphic up for it today, but check out Blockchain Education. It's in the description. Click on the link, watch the video about it. Amazing things are happening there. I'd love to see you join the team, and let's all make money together in 2020. Take care. Bitcoin is a peaceful revolution, and I will see you again tomorrow.